G'day mate, and welcome back to Capital History with me, Jenny. In our last episode, I wanted to get into the madness that is microchips, but unfortunately, I had to deal with my retirement plan, because it's always good, even as a captain of a glorious island like this, to make sure I have a backup plan. A retirement plan, should everything go sideways, should I be in a case where I can't launder all the gold off the island, I can't launch any rockets, and I can't take myself up to space to escape the nuclear wasteland I've left behind me. It's always good that I have a retirement plan, so we went and dealt with chickens. So that way, if everything fails, I at least become a chicken farmer, at least have some sort of retirement plan in place. But today, I want to get into the madness that is microchips. Sure, there's a couple of things we always have to do first to make sure everything is going to run okay, at least, avoid any other minor problems that I might cause myself in the future. I need to deal with some stuff from past Jenny. It's always past Jenny's fault. So what I need to do before we get into the madness is microchips, I need to ask you that very important question. Of course, the very important question being, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like earlier in the video. Not happy the video, didn't enjoy the video. Well, it's your fault that the rain won't go away. All right, what we need to do is, I need to do a few problems. First off, crude oil. We don't have a lot of crude oil. That's a bit of a problem. And the ship's not here. Ship, I need you back. The ship's running in low fuel mode, okay? Low fuel mode saves me an awful lot of diesel. I really recommend you run your ships in low fuel mode, because 9 times out of 10, you don't need them to complete a trip in 3 months. It's fine, they take 6 months. In fact, actually, you're here. Cool. You can be our substitute. So you're running in low fuel mode. Low fuel mode. That means you only need 378 diesel per trip. If I turn that off, it's 540. It means you take 3 months rather than taking 6 months. 6 months is perfectly fine by me. I don't need you to go any faster, but I do need my oil to come in faster. So my options are to take you off low fuel mode and therefore half my turnaround time, or, and actually in your case, you're actually importing 750 materials. Those 750 materials we're unloading with a small fluid module, which has an unload rate of 125. So if we say 750 divided by 125, means I'm actually taking 6 months to unload the boat, which is a bit of a problem. So what I want to do is, I want to upgrade every single one of these modules to medium modules. That means with a medium module, can I just pay the unit cost to have you done? Medium module, they're going to unload at a rate of, well, twice this speed, which means rather than taking 6 months to unload plus 6 months at sea, I'm going to unload in, well, half the amount of time. So it's 3 months to unload and 3 months at sea, which means I'm going to speed up my whole boat and my whole trip, which means I get more oil in per year. That's all I really need. I don't have to upgrade the unit storage, because unit storage only needs to log in 187, which realistically is going to take me, about a month and a bit. And you guys are still going to take 3 months to fully unload the boat. So that's fine. I can leave that like that. Slag, same problem. Except slag, it's a case of I have too much slag. I need to get rid of it faster. I don't really need to sour water faster, but we need to upgrade the whole lot together. So can I upgrade you guys as well? Can I get that lot done? I still have an impending problem where I have no construction parts. We're hoping throughout the episode that maybe they can catch up with that. Ooh, all right, next one is, I want to talk about the wood boxes. Wood boxes all dead. Cool, can I delete all of those? They'll give me some construction parts, which would be very good. Next thing I need to deal with is these wooden boxes. They're going to be in my way in the not too distant future, as in like in today's episode. So I want to copy those and I want to put them over here. I really hope they fit over here. And can I put them there? Now, I'd like to put in a temporary belt, just to make sure that it actually lines up. Cool, it does. That is a very temporary belt, and I actually win for a change because the temporary belt's gone already. So I'm going to get all 3 of you built. I need to have you export to those boxes, yes, and have you built. I also need to have you import materials, and can I have a construction priority of high. I need you built as soon as possible because I actually want to destroy all 3 of these. Can I get you, and you destroyed? Can I cancel that? Cool. I get you destroyed as well. All right. So I want to have all that destroyed. I want to have all that packed up. I want it out of my way. Also means cobblestone. Actually, maybe no. We'll come back to the cobblestone. Does mean that yes, I want to get them out of the way. I want to get the wood moved over to here. But to do that, obviously, I'd have the box built first. 70, no, wrong parts. 50. Okay. We get there slowly. Speaking of vehicle parts, I have a small problem that our vehicles are extremely busy, and that is because, where are we? F6. I have 73 little trucks. We have upgraded all the Diggy Boys except for, can I do upgrade? Can I select Diggy Boy? Well, as you see, I can't pick normal excavators anymore. So the only ones that are left over are the bars, the fart team. Yep. The fart team is the only one left that is still a small excavators. I want to keep them small because, well, I want to make sure that when I have something I need done now, they're the ones that come do it. So everybody else is already a mega excavator, which also means every single mine is now running on big trucks, which means I have an awful lot of little trucks hanging around. So we're mass upgrading 16 of them to start with. From there, we'll probably upgrade some more, but for the moment, I just need to, well, get you done. With you done, hopefully that means they can start taking the wood and loading over there. Can I turn that off? And you can just take the wood absolutely anywhere. I really don't care where you take it. But realistically, at the end of the day, it's going to have to come into this box. Cool. So that's that problem done. Crude oil, that's the problem done. And uranium ore, we know about that. We're just, as fast as we're mining it, it's then coming here, being unloaded, being processed. All right. Next thing I need to do is eggs. Eggs. Also, I need to, can I do that? And can I do that, and can I do that? It's another minor problem. We sort of maxed out our steel. It's fine. We'll solve one problem at a time. But I just need to put that there for right now. All right, eggs. We now have eggs. We are producing eggs from our lovely chicken farms, and the eggs are going into the egg box. The egg box is unloading them onto an egg belt that brings them down to the egg market. The egg market says that if I hover over eggs, it says that I have a demand of 60. But if we click this little button over here, we can see my actual demand if I wanted nothing but eggs would be 200. And it says 60, but it's definitely lying to me because I can definitely tell you that it's over 60. All right, can I get that upgraded? And can I get that belt upgraded? 92 parts, 90 parts. God, that's expensive. Okay, I can now see eggs coming in, and now it says demand 68. Oh, wow. Look, I was right. So I need to have that belt upgraded. That is going to get eggs down here a little bit faster. On the list of other things I need to do is, whilst we're in town, can I get that building upgraded? Can I set you to be like a super high priority? Because the sooner you're done, the better. And same applies to you. The sooner you're done, the better. Yep. Can I go to you? Can I set you to a 2, and you could be a 3. Yep. Yeah, didn't have these things done sort of in a set order, so things get moved in a set order. So need to have the towns upgraded because we're going to need more workers because I have a number of things I need to do. But also we need to go talk about electronics. So electronics, last episode, I forgot to upgrade a belt. In theory, this is going to catch up. I have some in here, so that implies that we're definitely getting ahead slowly, very slowly. So electronics should be also a sort of problem. So I'm going to close that off the list. All right, eggs without bacon. Yes, I know we need to get bacon up and running. So let's talk about bacon. All right, when we have chicken farms, they output, obviously, eggs being 7.32 per farm per month, and also 10 carcasses. The carcasses go onto a carcass belt, which heads up to here, and then heads into our very first part of the food processor. Now, I'm going to keep calling this a food processor because it literally is a food processor. It processes different food types. One of the things it does is it takes in chicken carcasses, plus adds a little bit of water and a little bit of salt, and that'll give us meat. It looks like a steak, but it's definitely not a steak because it comes from chicken. Also, meat trimmings. Now, you need to have 30 carcasses per one machine, and conveniently, I happen to have pre-built 3, 6, 9, 12. I have 12 chicken farms, which means I need to have 4 of these machines. Oh, isn't that convenient? And ultimately, I need to have probably a lot more. So I want to get you built, and you're going to need to have a little bit of water, a little bit of salt. Water we've already done. Salt I need to go find. The good news is I have a big bucket here that is slowly being filled up with salt from right beside town, and I need to bring that salt belt all the way through to here. Now, there's a couple of things inside the food processing build that need salt, and one of them happens to be our meat. And note, that is not a salt belt right there. That happens to be the sugar belt, because somebody in their infinite wisdom, when planning all this out, put the salt and the sugar right above one another. It's never ever happened in a restaurant, I promise you. I've never ever accidentally picked up one ingredient when I've been looking for the other ingredient whilst cooking either. So I technically need to have 3 of these guys running. So we're just going to unpause all 3 of them and leave the trucks to get that done. Okay. Once we have our chicken has turned to meat. Meat goes out here, and into the great meat bucket. The great meat bucket needs to travel down the great meat belts. The great meat belt comes to here and pops under there and heads under there, and is going to come to the Great Meat Market. This way you can come and buy all your meat needs. Okay, so I need to have that done as well. On top of that, we also output meat trimmings. Now, the meat trimmings, we get 6 per one of these machines, and if I have 4 of these machines, therefore I should end up with, well, 24 of them. The meat trimmings, they come out on the bottom belt, and they actually head directly into this building. This building turns meat trimmings, 24 of them being the exact amount we're making, plus a little bit of flour we set up earlier, with a little bit of salt into it still looks like beef sausages to me. It's chicken sausages. I can get behind chicken sausages. That sounds acceptable to me. Whereas chicken steaks, not so much. Anyway, this is going to give us sausages. Sausages obviously need to come into the Great Sausage Box. The Great Sausage Box takes the Great Sausages down the Great Sausage Belt, where you get unlimited amounts of sausage fed in your face every single day, and heads into here. Which is like a little bit of like a glory hole. It's where you can come in here and just blindly pick up as many sausages as you want. All right, so that's going to get sausages up and running, and it's also going to get our meat up and running. On top of that, can I get that belt unpaused? And can I get this one done as well? Because I need to talk about that one in a second as well. Yeah, sure. All right. So that's what we need to have running here. On top of that, this is a food processor. So being a food processor, it is always going to have some sort of byproduct, some sort of excess waste, some sort of thing that you might need to get rid of. And this is why I put so much effort into some of my blueprints, well, actually a lot of my blueprints, to make sure this acts like a food processor. So if I don't have water, for argument's sake, or I don't have salt, for argument's sake, or any of the items, then it has a fallback recipe. So it just takes all the chicken carcasses, turns them into all the meat trimmings. One of the reasons you do that is you actually need more, you need a higher ratio of sausages than you get from just the chicken farms, and the meat trimmings you get from making, well, chicken steaks. Yep. So you need to have some extra trimmings to make some extra sausages, and at least the devs are giving us a way to do that now. Originally it wasn't like that. You had to have meat that you just did nothing with to get extra trimmings to then shove the trimmings in it. Yeah, it was a giant pain in the ass, but at least now we can take our meat trimmings if we have too many chickens and just get straight meat trimmings. Meat trimmings can go straight to here to give us extra sausages. Again, if this system is backed up, if this system is not running for any reason, then well, our meat trimmings get sent out on this belt. I know it's a little bit hard to see because the belt's not running because construction parts. But the meat trimmings, oh, maybe I can actually get something done. Can I get that done? Can I get that done? And 30 parts. I have 2 in stock. So no, I can't get that done. All right, meat trimmings actually head out this belt. They pop down here and they go into this balancer. This balancer then takes our meat trimmings and shoves them into, well, our aromatherapy digesters. The aromatherapy digesters take in those meat trimmings and make beautiful aromatherapy. Yes, close. I'm going to roll with it for right now. Make wonderful scents. And those wonderful scents come out as fuel gas, and fuel gas we burn. And of course, when we burn fuel gas, we get steam. When we get steam, we process it into more clean water. More clean water I can get, the more clean water goes back to the system. The more clean water we can give to the chickens to have more chickens, blah, 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 blah. Also, it gives us a little bit of compost. And that is fed in as a not priority because that's definitely a waste product. If I burn it, all well and good. If I don't burn it, it's not the end of the world. On top of that, the other thing we do is eggs. Eggs are this one. Eggs are sent off to the Great Egg Bucket, and if I have too many eggs, they're sent down here. If I have still too many eggs, they're sent down here, where they also go into a food processing build that disposes of extra eggs. Can I get at least you build? Cool. They'll also come down here to the Great Aromatherapy Digesters and also give us a whole lot of fuel gas, a little bit of compost if I have too many eggs. I don't have too many eggs yet. That bucket's got a long way to go before it's full, but eventually I imagine we're going to have too many eggs, and hence we have a backup system. On top of that, for a long time now, I've had too much ethanol, and I haven't wanted to burn it off because we were just venting the steam, but we were processing the sugar cane into the aromatherapy digester. If you actually do the maths on processing the sugar into, well, the sugar cane into sugar to get the biomass, plus also making the sugar into ethanol, and then burning the ethanol in a boiler, which I'm building right now, then if you actually do the maths, it turns out it's actually way more efficient to take the ethanol and burn the ethanol to create some steam and get more power that way. And the biomass that comes from the very first process of, well, just ripping the sugar out of the sugar cane actually gives you more compost than had you just processed the sugarcane as is. So yes, now I can finally turn that steam to something useful. I'm going to get both you and you done, and we're going to start actually burning off any spare ethanol I have. So hopefully I can give these guys a break, because they have an awful lot of things to do, and with the chicken farms now up and running, they're going to have even more to do. So need to have this done. The trucks will get around to all this. They're going to be flat out. It's perfectly fine, because I still need a whole lot of construction parts. All right, next thing we need to do is I want to set up microchips. There's still a lot to do up here. It's going to have to wait an episode or 2 or 3, I don't know, because I want to come deal with this, which is, oh my god, delete things faster. Okay, that's full, that's emptying. Okay, can I cancel your delete? Can I cancel your delete? Can I cancel your delete? Come on, empty. Awesome. Cool. Can I get you empty? Get you deleted. Cool. Can I have that? Can I come to here? Can I get you built? All right. With that done, can I you for uni delete and you for you delete? Oh, can I get both those two clean? All right. Next thing I want to do is I want to put microchips. I want to put microchips right about here. To do that, I need to do a couple of bits of rearranging. We're going to go through them bit by bit, but the first thing I need to do is I need to move the giant rubber box, which is a problem because it's full of rubber. I also need to move the giant plastic box right beside it, which is also a problem because it's full of plastic. Can I disconnect that? Can I disconnect that? And can I disconnect that? And can I disconnect that? Well, can I remove that? Can I remove that? And can I remove that? Cool. Can I get that disconnected there? All right. I need to empty both these. And can I also disconnect you here? That'll do. All right. They can at least start emptying. No, can't put that back. Okay, just trim that part off. All right, let me get those empty. And I believe, if I'm lucky, I'm not lucky. I need one tile, right? I need one tile. Of course I need one tile. Cool. All right, I need to have this empty. This still exists. Oh. Get them removed. In that case, can I get you removed? And can I get you removed? And can I get you removed? And then put straight here. Oh, can I get you rebuilt? And plug that in there. Alright, well that made life easier. I didn't realize I'd have the uni and the construction parts to do that. Alright, can I do the same with you? I want to put you not here, but one tile further forward. I have 59 uni. What does it cost to remove you? 29. Cool. Can I copy you? Can I put you here? Can I uni delete you? Uni delete you. Uni delete you. And then can I put your new box? Where was it? Here, right? There. Cool. Yes, they do line up with one another. Cool. Can I plug you into there? And can I plug you in there? Cool. Can I get that built? And can I get that built? And can I get that built? I can't get that built because, let me guess, I don't have the construction parts now. No, they've been spent somewhere else. Can I mark you as high? I'm not quite ready to go to urgent, but it's pretty damn urgent. Can I delete that? Can I delete that? And can I delete that? Excellent. Can I remove you? All right. Can I get you? You're rubber. Okay. I need to bring rubber through to the box. From the box, need to come to, say, here, and then plug that in there. Can I get that one built at least? Thank you. All right, can I get plastic? Can we bring plastic from here? Trucks are going nuts. And into there. Yep, they're refilling the box with all the rubber that end up probably in the shipyard. Can I, nope. Can I just set you to urgent then? Urgent means literally if there's one part, a truck will get sent to go pick up one part. All right, I need to move rubber. I also need to move the plastic, and I need to have the chlorine come back in. So can I get the chlorine from here to here to here to there? Cool. And that done. And then can I have the exhaust? Okay, can you go? Okay, you can go slide under there. Yeah, I left myself one tile so I get things move between them. And can the exhaust go back into there? Thank you very much. And that should solve that problem. Okay, can I get the chlorine removed? All right. Partially built, 11 parts. Wow. Okay, so uranium ore go away. Rubber we know about. Okay. I want to move both plastic creation and rubber further down. So I need to have both those done. Also, actually, I should, whilst I have this exposed, plug in that and also grab my exhaust and take that from there across one tile and into there. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. Oh, can I flip you? Can I put you here? Can I do the same with this? So I wanted to move both these builds down. I want to move them just slightly out of the way for a number of reasons. The main one being that I need to actually move our poly over here. Well, I don't need to, but I'm chosen to. Can I get you to plug into that one? Thank you. All right. I want to move poly over here. Now, I'm not going to do that right now because I have complete lack of construction parts. And at the same time, when I do that, I'm going to rearrange and tidy up a whole bunch of these belts and other things. So what I want to do is I want to move, well, this, all this. I want to basically square off the belts here, right in front of the glass box. And therefore, I want to have this room reserved for making our construction parts 3. Because we have construction parts 1 right here, which is actually slowly filling up, construction parts 2, and therefore construction parts 3 would be right here. But to make construction parts 3, we need to have microchips. Now, microchips, we need to have a little bit of a quick talk. Also need to turn off that, because we're going to be retiring that system. And have a quick talk about microchips. Now, published a whole lot of blueprints. We've covered that many times, but a long time ago, I published the blueprint for Microchips Mark 1. And the Microchips Mark 1 was very similar to the build we've already used during this series so far, except this was one machine. And the reason it was one machine is because originally in Captain Industry, you didn't have access to, because it didn't exist, the mainframe computer. I believe that came with update number 2. So what you had to do is you had to do a few things all at the same time. First off, you had to have assembly number 4s, which were actually referred to as a robotic assembly number 1. So you had to have those, which needed maintenance 3 from memory, which of course needed, can I go back to maintenance? Can I have you? Which of course needed, set a recipe. There we go. Needed have electronics 3, which means you needed this guy to turn a microchip into electronics 3 to then make maintenance 3. On top of that, you also need to have a second machine, which I have already gotten, which would turn our electronics 3 also into servers. Because at the same time, you're trying to get both these systems running, you need to make data centers. Data centers obviously have maintenance 3, and to top everything off, just to make things more complicated, this is the only way to make teraflops. So you needed to have servers to put inside a data center, which costs you maintenance 3, which you need electronics 3 for, that you can't make because you can't convert your microchips into electronics 3 because you can't have this machine because it requires teraflops. So basically, you had to somehow bootstrap the system with basically using a whole lot of boosts, a whole lot of uni, and even do uni repairs on things to get the system up and running. It was a little bit difficult to get up and running. But once you're up and running, once you had enough servers in here, you could start producing enough teraflops that everything could run smoothly, you could then snowball the system fairly quickly, which is one of the things I love about automation games. After you get over that struggle, you can then snowball very, very quickly. So this is what we had to do with update 1. Let's go with update 2. They changed over the system to be very similar to what we've had, where I can have a couple of mainframes, which is what we did, to then use what I made was my second stage of my blueprint, which was basically the first stage, except rather having one machine. Can I bring that back? Can I put you back? You here, please. Thank you. Rather than one machine where everything is cycled through 12 times, we went out to 3 machines and things only cycled through 4 times. And this was designed so it would slowly turn things, well, the whole vault would run on 16 teraflops, because you need 4, and you need 4. So the whole lot would run on 16 teraflops, and then as you started adding your assemblers, being this one, and where are we? That one. Yep, that one and that one. As you started adding those, you go from 16 teraflops up to potentially 19 teraflops up to 22 teraflops. And you didn't produce 22 teraflops, so you could either power down some of the system, which is what my blueprint does automatically. It shuts down the different things you don't need to make sure that if something's backed up, obviously it's not going to be using your teraflops. But if something doesn't have the items it requires to be running, it also doesn't need any teraflops. And the idea being is, it would keep the most end product machine running, and if it doesn't have its source items to actually run, then of course it doesn't need computing power. So the idea being, if the whole system can run, the whole system will run. If not, it'll work from the end of the chain backward to make sure that it's not just going to get stuck at the very start of the chain doing its best to waste your time and your energy, and more importantly, your lack of, computing power. So this is what we've done here. But now we're in the later game, the very, very end game, where I can have a whole lot of teraflops. I have 192 currently, and this came to my third blueprint. Now, my third blueprint is, is designed around doing all of part 1, and then feeds the items out, and then it wraps around, does all of part 2, then feeds them out, runs part 3, and then finally runs part 4, and then gives me the microchips at the end. And the reason I did it this way back then was, can I have this belt? This belt's a perfect example. It's nice and visible. This belt right here at the corner is doing both an elevation change and an angle change at the same time. This is one of the things that we had access to that got removed from the game because they gave us, elevator lifts. Now, even with lifts, microchip systems people are struggling, very much struggling to be in a situation where they can build this with, rather than having a 2-tile gap between one machine and the next, they were struggling to get it done in a 1-tile gap. And the system, prior to having lifts, it could be done. It required some belt jiggery. I didn't really like the way it looked or the way it ran, and a lot of the belts went all the way around the whole system for no other reason than that's what they had to do to have the correct supports, so the belts didn't fall over. And even then, sometimes the belts fell over if you looked at them wrong. So when we had lifts, people went and retried to redesign the system, and you could redesign the system with some success with height 3 belts, where you could get this down to, again, 1-tile gap between them, rather than 2-tile gap. The problem was that, again, if you looked at the system wrong, you stared at it wrong, you did something, then the system would blow up because plastic is built and is being filled back up by trucks. Nice. Because the supports would just fall over, the belts would cave over. It was a giant pain in the butt. So I have kept to my old system right here that had a 2-tile gap between belts. And one of the reasons I did that was because it became very, very easy to expand it. Once you have one block up and running and you want to double it, you literally took the block and put it beside it. And then you just connected these belts here, which would feed the resources from, there you go. Connect all the three belts together, which would feed all the resources we feed into one build into the other build. And then if you want to expand it further, you would just take the whole thing end to end and put it in front, and then obviously plug in your different belts, etc., and then just feed the items forward. It was designed to be very, very expandable. But now we're in update number 3. What I really want to do is I want to have a build that is not 4 rows of 4. I want to have a build that is 1 row of 12 wide. So we can do each step of the process just once. And then I also want to have a 1-tile gap between them, which means I've spent a little bit of time, in the drawing board, working out a good way to get this done, and a good way where it doesn't fall over if you look at it wrong. Because that is the worst thing. If you get a build that works, and it only works, if you take the blueprint and you spin around twice, and then you stand on 1 foot, and you have to have your left hand on your hip with your right hand on your nose, and you need to touch the mouse with your left pinky toe. I don't want a blueprint like that. They exist, they're pain, I don't need that hassle. So what I want to do is I want to try and reinvent a system that worked well. And we're going to go through a little bit of this, not all of this, because it can be done, but it's a giant pain in the butt. At least to get the first system running. And I want to have you be at height 3. Is that height 3? That's height 3, cool. I want to have another lift. Another lift is going to be, not that tile. No, hang on. You need to face that way. Cool. Can I have you? I need you to be, here. And I need you to be, that's 3, that's 4. Okay. And then I need another lift to be here at 5. Cool. I then need to have our 2 belts. So we need to bring in our gold, our copper, our plastic, and then our 2 belts. 1 for acid and 1 for water. And you need to be height number 2 here. Yeah, I think. And height number 2 here. Okay, and then, can I copy you guys? And can I put you to that's it. Okay. The good news is this is really, really easy. Okay, really, really easy to do, and this is one of the things I've seen. I've seen lots of blueprints on. Can I flip you? I've seen lots of blueprints published on Discord, published on the portal, the hub, that, you know, did do some things, and they looked like they work, and then you go and try and place them, and things would fall over. So this is very easy to do. We can just run the belt straight through. And if I come to, I built U-shaped this. Fine, we're going to use the U-shaped belt. That's not the point. The point is to demonstrate how this does and does not work. I can plug you into there. And then I can have a height 5 belt, which would plug into here, and into here. I'm going to ignore the pipes. Pipes are generally easy. These pipes might be the exception to the rule, but pipes are generally easy. And then what you should be able to do is you should be able to have this part of the blueprint. We're just going to worry about this part, the part right in front of us, and you should be able to take this and then paste this here to expand the build. And it sort of works. Well, it seems like it worked. You know, my pipes didn't continue. We're just going to leave that there and ignore that problem. And then, Captain Mr. Blueprinting. Can I copy that and that then? And then can I put that here? And in theory, it keeps expanding. In theory. And like I said, this seems to work fine. After playing with this system for a while, it failed. So what I want to do is I want to make microchips, but I do want to have a system that is blueprintable and I can expand. And that's one of my main goals when it comes to actually having microchips. So I'm going to choose, after we've gone through the idea and the concept behind the blueprint is we're going to put in our first line of microchips. Now, our first line of microchips, I want to flip and flip. Okay, our first line of microchips being this build. This has our belts marked, okay? And this is why I have the blueprint in 2 separate sections. The first line just has this extra little bits on the end so you can read where things go in. So obviously we need to have water, we need to have acid, we need to have copper, we need to have plastic, and we need to have gold. We know about all that. We also need to put in our wafers. Now, our wafers. We need to take a second to talk about our wafers because, where is you? Can you come with me? You're an awesome little machine. You output 12 wafers for 48 silicon poly. And you only need to have 6 wafers. So therefore, if I have one of these machines, I can have 2 of these machines. That's cool. That's easy. That's great. Except, there's always an except. There's always a but. Eventually, we get our Microchip machine Mark II. Our Mark II machine needs 18 waffles. Now, if we need 18 waffles and you produce 12 waffles, that means rather it be one of these, 2 of these, it ends up being 1.5 of these to 1 of those. Or better yet, 2 of those to 3 of those. So I also want to make sure that I build this in a way that when I get to the Microchip machine Mark II, I can expand our production. So we're going to be starting with, can I get that? Can I put that there? Can I get this? Can I put this here? And I want to start with waffles. So what I want to do is I want to remove poly. Move poly. I don't want to remove poly. I want to pick up poly and I want to put it over here. And I don't want to take you through the boredom of me rearranging all these belts because that's what's going to happen. At the same time, I'm going to tidy up all these belts, make sure all the runs are straight again. I also want to take the belts from here, straight out to here, and then straight down. Also means this tower is going to be in my way, but they're currently working, and I think firing them at this stage might be a little bit rude. I'd like to at least finish their current jobs before I fire them, and once they're fired, well, they can't complain about it anymore. Can I get that filled to there? Can I get that filled to here? Can I get that filled to there? Do you have a ramp up? You do have a ramp up, so you guys are good. Can I get that cleared and that cleared? And can I put a flat through to there as well? Can I put a ramp on this really quickly? That looks correct. It is, and we can leave that to get filled. All right, quick bacon. Yeah, okay, bacon sausage. Yep, we know. I get the joke. Close that. High supply of gold. Can I set you to 4? I need to have you actually built. And low supply of plastic, which is what I do. You're not running. You're not running because you're waiting for products. What do you mean you're waiting for products? Whoa. Who broke the refinery? Oh, crap. Can I get that done? Can I get that done? And can I get that done? The trucks can't get here. That's what got done. So I've actually been out of oil for ages. I need 30 parts. Urgent. But urgent doesn't help because you guys can't get here. And I don't know why you can't get here. Can I see your navigation? There's no logical reason why you can't get here. You can get to this tile, which is 3 tiles away, which should allow you to do a close approach. Close approach just means the truckers get close enough that they can throw things. They can either throw things the rest of the way, like, you know, all good delivery drivers do, or it was just lit up. Or done. Or they can get the driver to get out and go for a bit of a walk, like most delivery drivers don't. So with that done, that should let us unload the oil faster, which should solve this problem and should therefore get our naphtha running again, and therefore should solve that. Oh, diesel's also empty. Okay, that explains so many problems. All right, you are struggling to get to. This is the exact same problem. Awesome. Can I get that done? Can I get that done? Can I? Nope. I got one of them done. And same story. Like, where is that truck? You. So you can't get to. You can get to here. Like, normally it's 2 tiles. 2 tiles is normally the close approach distance. And I'm actually really surprised these guys can't get this done. 40 parts. 20. Okay, can I pin you on the screen? Can I pin you on the screen? And we're just going to have to try and get them done. All right. You are trying to deliver things, I assume. No, you're trying to go to... Oh, cool. Trash. I haven't had the trash alarm go off yet, but the truck's trying to pick up the trash. I put the trash in the trash bucket. So, what else do I have you built? So can I get that built and that built? Good news is when you start processing, you're going to output... Sorry for a second. You're going to output more steam. More steam goes to more system. More steam and more system gives me more brine, which will give me more salt, which is very good because the salt bucket is very empty because it's been set up here and we just don't make enough salt for everything we're doing currently. Cool. So I didn't have that done. I didn't have this done. Trucks have no hope of getting to that, so I have no idea how we're going to do that delivery. And I need another 40 parts. Okay. Can't change the order of things. Okay, can I close you, pin you, and 21 parts. So what the hell are they going on? I actually don't know where they're going. That's all built. That's all built. That's been upgraded. They've been upgraded. Oh, gold. The gold bucket. The gold bucket has 0. Okay. No, they don't even go into gold. Can I... 38 parts. Okay, 942. You. I pressed you. Okay. The one time I actually want the hotkey to work. Okay. I don't know where they're going. At all. Let's take them somewhere, obviously. Or I have no steel. Yeah, I have no steel. And I have no steel because we just don't have enough steel. You feed in there and then go that way. Okay. And you have actually a lot in stock. Okay, can I have you be an input ready from there? That hopefully puts back pressure on it, which means I get more center of construction parts. Construction parts, sort of annoying. Sort of never had enough of them. Sort of need to have... Oh, there we go. So that belt's now stopped. You will at least have 500 in you because it's important to have some steel because we're shipping steel to places like... to make uranium fuel rods. And if that's empty, that'd be bad. All right, that's a lot of trucks there complaining. All right, where are you trying to go to? You're trying to go to trash bucket? Yes, it's trash bucket. Okay. So I do have 180 parts, which is... Now at least looks like it has a full belt of steel, which is nice. So that should hopefully come out fairly quickly. Did I see you just grab some parts? You did. And you're taking them to... Oh, that. Okay, yeah, that costs parts as well. But at least you bring the whole 50 there. So that's something. Okay, and then... You steal some parts, but not many. And we have 2k of those, so that's something. Doesn't look like anyone's coming and getting them, which is probably a good sign, because I do not think they can get to that trash burning system at all. I do not think that incinerator is available for them to grab from it, or deliver to it, probably more accurate. All right, can I go to you? So actually we're at 230, so all the trucks are idle. Nice. Okay, if all the trucks are idle, can I have a second? So that's done. Over here, no, not over there, here. Okay, can I have a ramp here? Can I have a filter 30 marked into there? Can I have no, not you, not you, not you. So we just have lots of trucks complaining because they can't get to the trash bucket, and 18 parts again, and they're not being delivered there. So again, I don't know where they've gone. A bit of gold. Gold has 0. Okay, can I set you to be... Actually, it doesn't matter what I set you to. And you have so long until you're full, so we can just ignore it. Okay. High supply of gold, we know. Low supply of plastic, we know about. That's because I emptied it. So can I delete that one? Low supply of meat, we know about because we just turned it on. So, oh, these must have just got finished. And meanwhile, we can see our red belt is coming all the way down here, and you are not the priority to come in. So you're not actually going to be running, and you'll only get into the aromatherapy digesters if I actually have enough. If they have room basically in their queue. Yeah, you only burn them off if we have to, otherwise you don't burn them at all. Okay, can I do those as well, which is another half a dozen construction parts, but whatever. All right, so meat, go away. Gold, we know about, it's being fixed in theory, which needs some actual truck to come here, and okay, that should do us, and all the struggling we can ignore. All right, here am I wasting time. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put poly I want to put over here, which means these guys. I want to put these guys, say, here, roughly. Here. Yeah, I want to put them here. And I also need to, then put this build right in front. And can I remove these boxes? Because we know what they are. We've already spoken about them enough. And can I put you about here? There should be plenty of room. Okay. Can I take a belt out? Belt out is going to go all the way over to here and then go into this system. And we're just going to plug these together in series. Once we max out the belt, I'll just upgrade the belts as required. All right. Can I come to here? Can I remove that corner? Can I remove that corner? Can I also grab a gold bucket? Can I put a gold bucket? No, that's fine. Can I move you up? Can I remove you? Can I put the gold bucket here? Because you are going to be bucket delivered for a little while at least. Can I have flat lift and put you to that belt? Okay, flip. Okay, can I get you built and you built? And actually, can I uni build that? Because that's the other type of construction part. All right, so that'll bring in our gold. And then let's do these two. Okay, so water. I didn't have water, which needs to go here, and I need to go over, please. Okay. Can I have you at height number 4 go there to block yourself, and then with you now blocked, can I have you go at height 5 in a straight line over the top? Excellent. Excellent, I say. Okay. Can I have you go from here down to there? Excellent. Okay. So can I have you built and you built? All right. That lets me patch off water this direction. Water this direction needs to go from here to, from here all in a straight line out to, say, here. And how much that's built? Only a little bit. Okay. It's probably fine. I'm going to end up probably moving this corner forward to match that. Okay. Can I go from here to there? Are you on height 4? No, you are on height 5. Great. Can I get that built, that, and that built? Can I flip you around the right way? And can I take my water, which technically only needs to be a pipe mark 1, but we have a bigger pipe here, so let's just use a bigger pipe. Can I plug that into there? Oh, flip that, and flip that, and cut that off the end. All right. Can I get that built? Can I get that built? Can I get that built? Can I also grab my plastic? My plastic needs to come out, and we're going to have you go to height number 4, straight out to here, as, yep. Of course, you dodged it last second. And then straight into Yeah, okay, that's gonna be our plastic. And can I get that built, and then continue my plastic from here back to where it was. Cool. Can I get that done, and that should be that. Last ingredient I need to ship in is going to be copper. Oh, and poly. Poly, can I bring poly from here to here up to height number 4 so mega dumpies can get underneath? No, I don't want that, please. I want you to come out calmly, quietly, collective, and come out at height 4. Cool. And then I need you to drop down to, well, essentially the ground, and then plug into you. And then we're just going to go like this into multiple machines as we need to expand the system. Okay, can I get that done? That done, that done, that done, that done. Thank you. And that should get my poly in here as well. Last thing is, 2 things I need is going to be gold and acid. Can I get that part done? All right. And okay, we'll wait on that. All right, so gold, copper. I want to grab copper. And at the same time, I want to talk about this corner, which is an absolute disaster. And hello, I want to go to here and then over that belt, please. And I want to go to, okay, fine, whatever. I want to go to this corner. This corner needs to be redone entirely. I'm the first one to admit that. And I think it's easier, rather than trying to be super neat and try and pre-plan everything as you go, I actually think it's easier to come back every now and then and take a corner that's got a little bit of hand, needs a little bit of DLC, and then come back and fix that corner. So, or that path of belts. Because even as we did science, I had a plan. I didn't think I'd end up changing my plan. I was pretty firm in what I decided what I was going to do where it came to science. But then in the actual process of, adding belts back into science and fixing it up, I actually made a number of modifications along the way, which overall ended up in a better build. Can I come to there? Can I come down to height number 3, please? And then can I plug that in there? Okay. That should be our resources in. That should get us all the way back to there for copper. And the only other thing was acid. Conveniently, I happen to have acid right here. Can I get a pipe? We're going to go from here to here, and then I want to go probably on the right hand side of all this. I don't know because I still need to actually no, can I go above rubber because I still need to move silicon across, and then can I come, this will do, and I want to go 2 tiles short of that one, and really like if you went over, but you don't really want to. Okay, now you went over. All right, and can I plug that into okay, I want to do the other way around. So can we go high first and then low? Cool. Okay, do that as well. All right, so that should be my acid, and means I don't need that pipe, and I also don't need that pipe and that little bit of belt pipe, whatever. Okay, then can I get this done? Can I have all the belts done? Thank you. All right, so with all the belts done, this should be stage number 1. Stage number 1, we just get, our very first row of items being fed in, and then blueprints. We get repeatable line of chips, and then I take the repeatable line and rotate it around so it's the correct way, and then we should be able to, like I said, just infinitely expand this. And this is my whole point. I want to be able to have an expandable system where I can say, well, we're going to need electronics 3 to make electronics 4 to go to space, along with we need them for rockets and all sorts of other things. So I want to have the ability to have possibly a considerable amount of microchips in the future. So I want to have a build like that. I also need to, Hopper's getting here slowly. The other ones are on shorter belts, so they buffer a little bit better. Okay. Low supply of salt. Yes, I know. We have 2 of you running, but you don't have enough brine yet. And our salt is up here currently. Can I turn this way down? That way, hopefully, we keep some salt at the other end. All right. We need to come back to this one. This one requires a little bit of TLC, so do a few other things. And hopefully, if I've done anything correctly, I should be able to get the first row built. With the first row built, we should be at the point where we have madness of microchips, because you run all the way through the system, and then every minute we get 24 microchips. 24 microchips, it leads to you using 3. So I can now run potentially 4 of these machines back to back, producing nothing but electronics 3, which means we can vastly get into more servers. Also means, just importantly, in our next episode, we need to tidy up some things. And I still have one backup of vehicle pollution number 9 in the queue. But then before that finishes, I want to have the next tier of labs up and running so we can get into bigger and better robot assemblers. We can get into bigger and better microchips production and get more trucks. I can get Medical 3. I can get Mr. Shippy out and about and say hi to everybody again. And then we're ready for the super end game. And then we might look at trains. Oh my God. What the hell did you do? You're trying to deliver things. You're trying to deliver water. What I do with water? I had one ghost pipe. That would do it. Don't deliver the water. The water's fine. It's on its way. Okay. I need to leave the video here. We've made good progress. We have just a problem or two with trucks who can't access things, but that's because they're too idle, which is one of the reasons I like them very busy doing other things. Also, we need to deal with the too much fertilizer problem, especially now we've upgraded the slag to travel more often, more faster, because I had too much slag. I need to get rid of slag faster. And you are doing what? You are loading those, and it's not a loading speed, it's a amount in the box speed problem. Can I pause you? And then that ship can leave, and therefore I can get some more oil back. Yeah, I really wish it didn't hang around for full load stuff. That's just annoying. All right, yes, with all that said and done, I'm going to leave this video here. We've made good progress. We have microchips. It means also we need to get our Electronics 3 finalized, set up a little bit neater, and none of that can happen until I iron out and fix this corner. So what I'm going to do is going to leave this video here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in blueprints, which will get you through to train pollution number 6 at least, by all means, they are available on Patreon. That's where all the updated ones are. There are the old ones on both my Discord and Capital Industry Hub that some work perfectly fine, like the current Microchip one actually works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But the updated ones are on Patreon, which are normally a little bit more efficient, a little bit more specialized at update number 3. But with all that said and done, I'm out. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the very next video. All right, bye.